Okay, thank you for joining me at Getting Your Flowers with Latoya Monique. We are here today joined by an up-and-coming comedian named Moon from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn?
You already.
From Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. Thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
What's going on? What's going on with it?
All right, so talk to us about your come up. So you said you've always been funny. Tell us about that.
Well, I come from a funny family. It's a bunch of us. So it's like some nights we had a joke to eat.
Is that a truth?
It wasn't enough food.
Okay.
The funniest person got a sandwich.
Oh, is that a truth?
It's a joke.
Oh.
Nah, but okay. I come from a funny family, you know. Mm-hmm. Moms and pops from the South. So, you know, their stories is always hilarious.
My mother too and my father.
I mean, my pops is an old gangster. God bless his soul.
What part of the South?
He from Lynette, Alabama.
Okay. And
old
mom?
Gangster. Mom from Bennettsville, South Carolina.
Okay.
So it's like the stories, the age difference was crazy. My pops was 20 years older than my mom, so I had to hear jokes all my life. My friends used to be like, yo, this one joke. My friends used to be like, yo, my mom's was born. My father was at the hospital like, yo, I want that one right there. That shit killed me till I was like in fucking high school.
That is funny.
So it's like I had to have tough skin.
Mm-hmm. So you said that, you said your dad was 20 years older?
Yeah.
So him being 20 years older mean he was so much more mature?
Yeah.
Okay. So his maturity he found through laughter, I guess, a part of him. So when you say he was 20 years older,
yeah,
what did that mean? Tell me that.
I guess he was just more seasoned than my mom. He had more game. He seen her coming, you know what I'm saying?
That. Yeah.
So that's how I look at it.
What was up with your childhood? Tell us about that a little bit.
It was a beautiful childhood.
Yeah.
It was
you was raised in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn.
Bedford-Stuyvesant, in Brooklyn, on Chauncey and Malcolm X. They call it Chaun City.
Okay.
The home of my boy Bill Yawns.
Okay.
It was a beautiful childhood. It was a project life. Mm-hmm. Family was tight. No matter how people look at the projects, the whole projects is one family. So it's like, it was crazy. Like your neighbor could whoop your ass type shit. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna get away with just doing anything.
Right.
No matter how reckless your household was, it was an elder in the building that would check you. So it was dope.
Okay.
I blame a lot of I take a lot of my richness from my projects.
Yeah.
My background. Yeah.
So you feel like you learned that. You learned like who you are today is because of where you come from.
Yeah.
And that grilled you on who you are today.
Yeah.
You think you're a good person?
I know I'm a good person.
Why? Tell me why you think you're a good person.
Because I did a total 360 of who I used to be. I used to be a very bad person. Everything I touched turned to shit because it was done with bad intentions. So everything I touch now turned into gold. Mm-hmm. I wake up to blessings. Mm-hmm. I give without wanting to leave my hand on it. You know what I'm saying? They say the best gift is the one unknown. So I give people without having to sit back in. You would never see me on camera feeding the homeless. That's corny. Mm-hmm. So it's like, that's where my blessings come from.
Okay, so let's go back because I'm going to do a blessing bag and I'm going to put it on camera because I want it to be contagious for other people. I don't want to do it because I've given a lot to a lot of people and nobody has ever known. But when I go out and do something now, I want to do it because I want it to be contagious. You see the difference? Like if I say like, listen, I'm doing a blessing bag campaign or I'm doing this and I'm going to record it because I want you to see what I'm doing so that you could do it. Yeah. You can feed into what I'm doing so that we can multiply and we can make this wonderful. What do you think about that opposed to, because I know what you're saying as far as you do good for people and everybody don't need to do it because I think Jay-Z is one of those people also from Brooklyn. Yeah. Like I know he's blessed so many people, but people don't know about it. And that's great because I've done the same thing. But when you want it to be contagious and you say it's not enough good going on, so I'm going to show good, duplicate good because I want other people to see my good so they can do good. What do you think about that?
I'm not saying that I disagree with what you're saying, but I noticed something that if I was to do it, I would feel uncomfortable because it's like, all right, why you doing it? Like you said, you're doing it to be contagious. So hopefully you will hope for people to carry on with the trend, which is understandable. But it's like when I do things, I don't look at it as that. Like I don't do stuff because I want somebody to come behind me and do it again. That's what makes me unique. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if you decide to do it, then hey, kudos to you. But I'm not doing it to cause a following. You know what I mean?
Right. You're right. Because that's you're on a different tier. But
Yeah.
for me, like I'm 49 years old.
Yeah.
I've been giving people since I was a little girl. I've always been a giver. I will give you anything and everything. And that's a flaw for me as well, because sometimes you give people too much and they don't deserve it.
Yeah.
And that's one of my flaws. And that's a problem for me. Because I feel like once I meet you and like we cool, I'm gonna make sure you good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take care of you.
As
you don't
should.
have to worry like simple shit. Like if you be like, yo, I got a ticket the other day and my ticket was 150. In my mind, I'm thinking like, damn, I'm gonna give him $75 because I can. And I'm gonna give it to him because he's my friend. You know what I'm saying? That's the umbrella I work under. Anybody attached to me knows that. So that's just the kind of person I am. So, but what I'm trying to do and moving forward is that I see we live in such a selfish world, and my responsibility now is I'm one person. I know I can't carry it all by myself. I want to feed everybody. I want to put new coats on everybody. I want everybody to have clean socks and underwear, but I can't do it by myself. So then I will launch something to say, listen, this is what I'm doing. I took $100 out my pocket, made some blessing bags. You want to help? This is the way you could do it. But when I hand somebody bill money, or I give you lunch money, or I give some dude on the street bread, I'm not repeating that cycle. You get what I'm saying? So let's talk about, you say you was paid $5,000 for your first show. Tell us about that.
Oh, wow. That's crazy, because like when I tell people that story, people don't understand it. But it's like, that was like a blessing that came back. And it's crazy because the dude who paid me $5,000, shout out to my boy Pat. It was a dude that I taught how to sell crack.
Okay.
It's crazy.
True story.
Good school kid. I was outside. Hustling. And I'm on the block. I was on house arrest. I had a house arrest bracelet. And we were sitting on the stoop, me and him talking. It was flowing crazy. I ain't even had no work bagged up. So I'm sitting there with the plate between my legs, bagging up an 8-ball. And he's sitting there so going crazy, like, yo, my man Moon doing some crazy shit. So years later, it's crazy. He went across town and became a big time drug dealer. So when he went out there, he bought him a club.
Okay.
So he sees me on Fulton Street, and I'm with my girl. We driving down Fulton. I got out to go do a little shopping. I see him with one of his partners. So he telling his partner, yo, this is my man. Yo, this nigga who taught me the game. Yo, this the funniest nigga in the world. Yo, boy, I got a club. How much you charge me to come do a show? So I'm just boasting. Like, you want me to come do a show? Give me 5 bands, nigga. He like, all right. And I'm thinking I'm calling this bluff. He goes in his pocket, give me $2,500 right there. So I'm like, oh, shit.
Okay.
So I'm steady going with, I'm like, yo, when you want me to come? Set up the date or whatever. But I'm bullshit. I ain't got no gig written or nothing. So I get back in the car. So my girl like, yo, we get that paper from. I'm like, I got this from this nigga, man. You want me to do a show for? My girl like, yo, you got to start writing some jokes. Like, that was her first response. Like, you ever did a show? I'm like, nah. And she like, well, you better do something. This nigga just paid you. So I'm saying in my head, like, man, this is my man. I taught him the game. Like, I ain't gonna fuck up. I've always been known to be funny. So I know it was real when he called me like a week later. It was like, yo, bro, I need a picture for a flyer. So when I sent them the picture, now it's like, you locked in, bro. You got to go out there and show up. And the support that I got from it, like when we left Brooklyn, we left probably like 12 cars deep. And that was the energy I needed to get on stage and go crazy. And that night, that's when I learned like it's a difference between snapping and telling jokes. Like, you know, snapping is what we do on the block. So if I was a snapper, I can't do that on stage because that's not considered comedy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and then you got to learn how to block out hecklers. My skin is tough. And I'm going to look at the heck like, if you really want to do this, because snapping is what made me get here. I never wrote a joke in my life. So snapping is what got me here, bro. Is you sure you want to do this? Anybody who know me, tell a heckler that's not what you want to do. This is what boy do. I'll let you heckle. I'm going to finish my show, but I can guarantee you, when I get off the stage, you and everybody in your section going to know my name. So it was like always that energy that I had when I got on stage. Similar like what Mike Tyson said about he said before he get in the ring, he nervous. When he step in there, you know what I'm saying?
That's how I feel.
And that's how I feel.
That's
it's like,
exactly
I be
how
nervous
I feel.
before I get on stage, but once I get up there, it's like, man, this is my house. Like,
that's exactly,
everybody here to see me.
Nikki
Like,
that
you know what I'm
earlier.
saying?
Right. That's exactly what
So
I
it's
told
like,
Nikki when I'm so nervous. I'm crazy. I'm doing everything I'm not supposed to do. And then I turn around and I know I have to do promo. I have to wear certain clothes. I have to, and I'll start eating all the stuff that I'm not supposed to eat. I start acting all the way up. And then I'm sitting there like, cover the fat, cover the, you know what I'm saying? I'm real like that. You know what I mean? But I get it. I get it. The same thing. I want to ask you, what are some of your favorite comedians?
You mean of all time? Or,
of all time. Of all time.
Well, Paul Mooney, Dick Gregory, of course, Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy.
Okay, you love Eddie?
Eddie, yeah,
Okay.
one of the new guys.
So those are old school.
Tony Roberts.
Okay.
That's one of the funniest guys in the world. Like,
really?
he could just say something stupid and have you on the floor. Tony Roberts.
Okay.
I like up and coming. I like Desi Banks, DC Young Fly, Country Wayne, Cat Williams, of course.
Okay.
Kevin Hart.
All right.
But
what are some of your favorite TV shows?
Power.
Okay.
The Wire, one of all times.
Amen.
Tell
the ending of the Wire. Can we talk about the ending of the Wire, Moon? Let's talk about that. Do you remember the ending of the Wire? So
many blunts ago. I'm gonna try to.
Okay. It just basically took everything. It showed everything. It showed what was gonna happen in the future. And I think a lot of sitcoms end and it just leaves us clueless. But The Wire was so good because it showed us what everybody started to do after The Wire.
True.
You can remember that.
Well, you mean as in what the actors did after they left that?
No, not the actors. When The Wire ended, most sitcoms end and they just end. But The Wire showed you what this person became. I don't know if you remember because it was a while ago. They brought everything together.
So it's like when the drug dealer little kid got adopted by the cop. It's showing how they.
It's showing
all right,
how
I get what you're saying. All right, I get what you're saying.
So that's what made The Wire such a great sitcom.
But I wish, you know how some sitcoms you wish could come back and give you just one more. I wish because so many people became so big from there. Michael B. Jordan.
Come on. What about the dude? He does the Jamaican dude. He light skinned. He played in Power. Now the light skinned dude. Yeah.
He was on The Wire.
Yeah, he was on The Wire, I believe. All right, don't get me going because my mind is all crazy. Let me move on to my next question because we'll be here tomorrow trying to figure out what Latoya is trying to figure out. All right. Funniest movie?
Dreamgirl.
Really?
Jimmy Early. No.
Is it Jimmy Early? You loved Eddie Murphy.
Jimmy Early was a class clown.
He was a hot
man. He went out with a bang, man. He OD. The way he lived his life was so funny.
Right.
And it's you got to understand at them times, he was feeling himself.
Yeah.
He was
really
feeling
was.
himself.
I really liked his character.
For him to have some girls to come along and outshine him and push him out the way to see the downfall was he kept it comical.
Right.
It was funny.
Right.
I think Dreamgirls, man, that get me in trouble a lot. If my girl asleep and that come on TV at night,
I'm sick of you.
She gonna wake up and be like, "Are you fucking serious?" For real, because no matter how many times I see it.
Let's shout his girl out because he mentioned her twice, so which means you significant. So we're gonna shout her out.
That's my baby, man. Amen. Good principal, man. Amen. Good principal lady.
Amen. I like that. How far do you want to go with your comedy? Where do you see yourself with your comedy?
I don't really see myself doing too much stand up because I don't got the love for it no more. But I could see me writing skits.
Really?
Yeah, I could see me writing a lot of skits.
You don't have the love for it. What does that mean?
It's I don't have the love for it no more because two of my biggest fans I lost, my cousin and my pop. So it's to not see them there to applaud me. It's wicked.
I understand. So let me ask you a question. So if I did something and I asked you to come on to be a comedian to do a show for me.
I'll show you some love. Yeah, I'll show you some love.
Y'all heard him? He said
me to it. I'll show you some love.
I'll show me some love, Moon?
For sure, I'll show you some love.
You're going to show Latoya Monique some love. What's the funniest show you've done?
It's a spot in Brooklyn called Inkwell.
Inkwell?
Yeah, on Putnam.
Yeah.
I think it's the funniest show because, like I said, I never wrote a joke and my mom's in the audience, so I had to keep it respectful, but I fucked them up.
You got them?
Yeah, I fucked them up.
Okay, the Inkwell, that's dope. As a man, what's important to you?
Family.
Okay.
Respect.
Okay.
Morals.
Okay.
Honesty.
Okay.
Loyalty.
How do you feel about betrayal?
In some cases, some betrayal could be forgiven, which is true. In some cases, you love a person enough, you'll be able to ignore the betrayal, but in some cases, you just can't. So it's it's a double-sided sword. You know what I mean?
Understood. What is the breaker for you in any relationship? What's your breaker? You're not going to do this to me and we're going to continue to go on. What's your breaker?
To do everything you said you wouldn't. You know how a person come into, basically it's some people come into relationships, they don't study you already. So they know what you look for in a person. So they form to that person instead of being who they are. You You know what I'm saying?
How
So when
old are
that
you?
costume, I'll be 43 in October.
Really?
So it's like when that costume stopped fitting them, it looks crazy. And that's when you look at the person like you got two heads. Like, if you lied about that, what else have you done? You know what I'm saying? And I
Amen.
feel like if you lie, you steal. So like, damn, you been lying to me.
A
What else
thief
been
is a
going on?
liar,
Yeah.
lie is a thief. My
You know what I'm
mother
saying?
used to
So it's
tell
like,
me
what's
that all
going
the
on with
time.
it?
My mother used to tell me that all the time. That's the truth. If you could give someone advice in life, what would it be?
Chances are with you as a kid, you're not going to be when you grow up. So like, the decisions you making as a young man, I guarantee you as you get older, you're going to look at them totally different.
Okay. What's the best advice that was given to you?
Understanding the powers of a parallel universe, meaning when I was locked up.
Understanding the power of a parallel universe. Okay.
When I was locked up, me and my baby mom used to be arguing crazy. And I was in the yard spending with this old timer. I used to be like, when I get out, I'm going to violate this bitch. I'm going to violate this bitch. Your word to mother, I can't wait. I'm fucking everything around. I was just so angry. And he was sitting back for months listening to me vent.
Okay.
And I'm thinking this nigga's on my side.
Okay.
And then it came out one day, it was like, man, the power of parallel universe gonna fuck your head up. So I'm like, what you talking about? He said, man, how you feeling right now? As soon as you step on the other side of that gate, bro, you ain't gonna think about none of that shit. I'm like, are you crazy? All right. When I get out there, I'm wilding on this bitch. The minute I stepped out the jail, forgot about all that shit. Word, like everything I felt behind, like I was just so happy to see her. I'm happy to be free. Like all that anger I had 2 hours ago, 5 minutes ago, was like, and I couldn't even explain it. Like, it wasn't even like I turned it off.
You know why? Because it's an emotion.
Exactly.
And emotions are temporary. Anger, stress, anything that we go through is temporary. This is why you shouldn't make an important decision off your emotion.
Yep.
And that's what you was feeling.
Yeah.
You was feeling like, I'm gonna get this and da. But then when life went on and everything went on,
you see, it wasn't even worth it.
It was something totally different.
Yeah, that's like a lot of dudes that been in jail for so many years, they there for shit that they wouldn't even agree on doing now. Like, they've been in jail 20 years, the shit they in jail for, they like, I couldn't believe I did it, but I'm still being punished for a stupid decision. Mama said trouble easy to get in, but hard to get out. So it's like, when you understand them
just like money. People take money from you, it's easy, right? Hard for you to get it back. There you go. You know what time it is. You from Brooklyn. You know what time it is. Tell me what your favorite 5 rappers of all time, Moon, and don't go crazy on me right now.
Biggie, Jay, Tupac, Nas, and my last, I would have to say AZ.
AZ? Yeah, AZ was hot. He was very underrated.
Quiet Money.
Super underrated.
Everything he represent. Quiet Money.
Quiet Money.
Yeah, Quiet Money. He stay out the way. Anytime you see the cameras land on him, he look good. That's what I love about him.
Brooklyn men. I love that.
It's a fact.
I know he wasn't from Brooklyn. Was he from Brooklyn,
Yeah.
AZ? AZ was from Brooklyn.
East New York.
Oh, East New York. Okay.
Yeah, that talk. Boy talk like it.
I should
Speech
know.
impediment.
I know.
That boy talk with that heavy tongue.
Well.
That's that slick tongue.
I know that's right. Generation X. So I want to talk about that real quick with you. Just because you from the streets, you from Brooklyn, you're how old? 43? So
I'll be 43.
You'll be 43. So you come from the generation where I come from, where we played outside.
Yeah.
You did the fire hydrants, all of that.
None of that no more.
It's none of that no more. Now, we also lived in a generation where there was no cell phones. There were beepers. There were phone booths.
We used to sit on the stoop all night.
Let's talk about it. So, you have children, Moon?
Yeah, I got a son. My son will be 14 in a few more days.
Okay, 14. I have my youngest daughter will be 16. So, I get it with the teenagers. So, you have a son.
Yeah.
Do you see the difference of the way we raise our children than the way we were raised? Like, as far as like my daughter stays on the computer, stays on her phone. At her age, I'm outside. I'm across the bridge. I'm running around. I'm trying to look for the boys. Like I'm on that energy.
You know
they are inside on computers, on tablets, on games. We were a different generation.
We didn't have that. We had to sit outside on the stoop.
Right, but
till the light came on.
Do you
and
get a feeling
inside.
of that generational X? Because that is something that is so bothersome to me. Like, it's crazy that we lived through that. Right? Because right now we can't go without a cell phone. But back in the days, we didn't have no cell phones. We had landlines.
Yeah, that's a fact.
My mom's phone used to be like 10 feet long.
Remember the long
and she
cord?
would walk.
Remember the long cord go through the whole
over
house.
The whole house. Talking shit.
Or somebody pick up on our line
shit.
and listen to your conversation. Remember that? yo,
I'm done.
you got
I'm
to tell
done.
the person on the line, be quiet, just to see if you hear the TV in the other room. Like it was, yo, man, I had
trying to
six
put me
sisters.
on?
Yeah,
You
I
trying
had
to put
6
me on
sisters, man.
blast?
They used to do some stuff, man.
Right. That
But
was back in the day. That was the good shit. Generational X.
it's a big difference because kids are becoming gamers now. Like kids could sit in a room and make millions off of games.
Big time.
You know what I'm saying?
Big time.
Like
just a whole
$1 million was
generational
unheard of
change.
when we was younger. $1 million was unheard of when we was younger. Now kids are making millions of dollars online.
Facts.
So it's like that's the thing I see the difference is. Yeah. And then it's like social life is different. We used to be able to sit on the stoop with girls till 2 a.m. if you was old enough. Mm-hmm. Now kids text, social media, they don't even interact in person. Mm-hmm. It's like it's I see the difference. It's crazy. It's a big
difference with generational X. And this is my last and final question for you tonight. Mike, and I had said this, I had presented this question when I did a pilot in my house on May 1st. That's when Mo was there. And I had presented this question. So I asked men, and I'm going to ask you the same question. Mike Epps made a post that before he died, he wanted to treat women right and treat women well. How do you feel about that statement? And do you feel that you feel the same way?
That's his honesty.
So let me just start
off. Listen, we all, yes.
Right? No, have you treated women right throughout your life?
I wasn't always a good dude.
You was not always a good dude.
I wasn't always a good dude. I know I broke a lot of hearts. But it was.
Do you feel like you want to be a better man for women, or you feel like in your relationship that you're in now that you're doing okay?
I don't want to be a better man for women because I want to be a better man for myself.
Okay.
Because if you're doing it for anything other than yourself, it ain't gonna last long.
Okay.
So as long as I make myself better,
okay,
as a person, then I should be better than everybody else around me. Okay. But I think in order to be better, you first got to recognize your demons. So I recognize that, I was on a piece of shit back in the days. And recognizing that helps you be better.
Okay.
Until you recognize that, you're going to continue doing the same thing. So when you recognize, like, damn, I did a lot of girls dirty, or I did her foul. Or when you run across your past, like I had a girl tell me, yo, it's because I never learned how to really love my baby father. And I'm like, fuck you mean by that? And she like, because I thought you really loved me and you was doing me bad. So when he tried to love me, I thought he was playing me. And I'm like, damn, like, did my hurt curse the next, you know what I'm saying? So when you start looking at stuff like that.
So that makes you feel bad.
Yeah, I don't want to be better for her.
Right.
I want to be better for myself.
Right, so you don't make those same mistakes over again. Okay,
yeah.
That's fair. Well, I'm going to say I have enjoyed interviewing you. Is there anything that you want to add to this interview that we wasn't able to talk about?
No, you almost made me cry.
I almost made you cry? Yeah. Tell me how I almost made you cry.
No, it's just like.
Just the way I come into questions?
No? When you asked me about stand-up, I really realized, like, I finally said why I don't want to do it. I always thought of it, I always thought of it, but to finally say it is like to deal with it.
You got it out.
So it's like, wow.
You understand.
And when I said it, it's like I kind of felt them in here,
You kind of confident. So, yeah. I like that. All right now.
Had a good time.
Yes. Thank you for coming. You're about to make me cry now.
I'm trying to get off camera before I do. I appreciate it.
Well, I thank you for coming, taking your time out, coming all the way from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn to come out to Long Island.
I made it happen.
To show up for getting your flowers with Latoya Monique. I so appreciate you. Thank you.
Come again. I got you.
Hey, come again. More and more. Hey.
Had a good time. Thank you.
Woo.